Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. My name's Isaac. Hello. Perfect. Good afternoon, and welcome to Wallace Field here in Victoria, British Columbia, for this matchup today between the University of British Columbia Seconds and the University of Victoria Norsemen. Starting here, kickoff imminently at 12:45. This is going to be a good matchup here, I think, because I believe UBC, this is the first time their seconds team will be playing another university seconds team here. And as far as the University of Victoria Norse go, this will be a match that will test them greatly, as UBC always brings a good squad. As we are set to get underway here shortly with the referee's signal. My name is Isaac Leroy, and for once, I'm not commentating and filming at the same time. I have a filmer today who's helping me out greatly because it's much more difficult to do both. And it's a nice day in Victoria. No rain expected, but 13 degrees, I believe. So a bit chilly up here in the broadcast booth as we look to get underway with the referee's whistle. And we are underway here with a good kick from UBC, but taken well by the Vikes. And a quick knock on, or maybe the referee said it went backwards. No, it's recovered by UBC as they look to move into UVic territory here. And it moved forward, knock on again by UBC. So UVic recovers. Maybe the field a little bit slippery as it has not dried out yet, as a knock on again by UVic. But the penalty will come back to the UVic Norsemen. And they will look to kick into touch for some territory gain here about a minute into this game. And a great kick there by Matt Bennett. That gets them into UBC territory for the first time. Alex McCallum with the throw. Thrown and taken well as UVic looks to move through their phases and get into UBC territory, but the ball's turned over. And UBC pushed into touch. UVic players celebrating that as they will have a line out with Alex McCallum to throw for the second time today. This time, thrown not so well, but recovered by UVic as some messy scrums and messy passing to start this game by both teams, but UVic with continued possession here, moving the deepest they've been into UBC territory as they look to pass out wide to the big number 1. Marcus Lott with the carry there. As UVic almost inside the UBC 22 with some good sustained pressure here. But that's read well by UBC and taken well, but it is knocked on. Inches away from an interception there, as that play was read very well by the UBC player. And UVic will have a scrum, their first of the game. UBC in the white jerseys, UVic in the multicolored, tricolored, yellow, blue, and dark blue jerseys, although that was most likely fairly obvious to most viewers. As the scrum is reset here. Again, rained a little bit yesterday, so this field could be a bit slippery. And when I was walking it this morning, it was definitely quite wet. So maybe that playing a factor here with some early knock-ons and scrum not being set well, but it holds this time as the ball's put through, but a poor pass there, and UVic will recover possession, but the scrum half with a poor pass, maybe the ball slipped out of his hands as UBC recovers. And UVic hands on the ball, but not recovered. So UBC with possession as they look to have some sustained possession of them for themselves. Some poor passing there by UBC, but they recover and push out of bounds once again in the almost exact same spot as last time. So a line out and a throw by Alex McCallum once again. And a great throw, taken well, played onto the scrum half. And UVic trying to find that ball, which they do. Big hit. UBC over the ball, but coming back for a penalty conceded by UBC. So penalty to UVic here. Most likely they will have Matt Bennett kick to touch once again. That kick, very good by Matthew Bennett, who 3 weeks ago made his first appearance for the UVic Vikes against Trinity Western University, now playing for the Norse. As a big push here from the Vikes, this is the most threatening position that they've had all game. And they look to play it out wide. Taken well. And they will go very wide down to number 11. But a loss of territory there. Just not quick enough on the outside edge. And another poor pass, but the referee will come back for a penalty offside to UBC there. And we can see what UVic will decide to do. They will kick the touch once again off the boot of Matt Bennett. That ball sails out of the field, so hoping someone can go get that. Hopefully get one of the subs as time is called off for that ball, which has gone missing. So we're back on play here with Alex McCallum to throw. And UBC defending well, but UVic with a good line out there as they look to maul, but it is collapsed almost immediately as the referee signals penalty advantage to UVic. And he will come back again for offside. Quick tap and go by UVic. Stuffed well by the Thunderbirds. And almost turned over. But again, tackled well by UBC and continued possession here by the Vikes. With big number 1 barreling down. And again, some sloppy possession here, sloppy handling by the Vikes. But there's a big gap there. Again, defended well by UBC. And the referee will call penalty against the Vikes there for, I believe, what the coaches were yelling for as obstruction. And I believe that's the hand signal the referee is making. So UBC with a goal line stand there after some continued pressure and possession by the Vikes will kick to touch with just about 10 minutes gone in this first half. Still 0-0 as the Thunderbirds look to successfully line out here, which they do. But UVic with a possession recovery, and they most certainly have dominated possession here in the early goings as a pass back to Matt Bennett and a kick up and recovered very well by the Vikes, but they must ruck over and they don't. But the penalty to UBC. So a great idea there by the young Matt Bennett, but unfortunately not enough support there to ruck over the ball as once again the ball out of play and time is back on as we have the first line out from UBC. Not thrown or taken well, but recovered by the Thunderbirds with a big run there by UBC. And they look to maintain some possession here in the territory of UVic, but a quick penalty to the Vikes will give them the ball back. So kick to touch by the Vikes after the penalty conceded by the UBC team. And once again, struggling to speed up play here with an unsuccessful line out by the Vikes, their first of the game. The Norse, I should say. As UBC with quick possession changeover will look to threaten in UVic territory. Although penalties have been the story of this first game, this first bit of the game, I should say, especially on the UBC side, conceding multiple penalties and a knock-on by the Thunderbirds as UBC not happy with the call, but it will stand. So a little bit of a sloppy start to the game from both sides, with maybe wet conditions or moist conditions playing a factor. And the referee not liking the look of that bind, so he will bring them back up to reset. As the scrum will form and hold well, but a big push by the Thunderbirds. However, the referee will reset once again. So, third time's a charm, let's hope, as the scrum will not be played. So, once again, the referee not liking the look of the formation here of the scrum. But warning the teams, saying he will take a penalty next time, as we're hoping now that fourth time is a charm. This might be a record for amount of scrums reset. I'm not aware, but for a fifth time, this scrum will be reset here. 15 minutes into the first half of this game, as the referee will hope the players can heed his advice and maintain the integrity of this scrum, which they do. So I guess the new saying, fifth time's a charm, is accurate, as Marcus Lott with a fantastic run, multiple offloads, but a great final tackle there from the UBC player. But UVic threatening once again, as a big ruck over by UBC, but possession maintained by the Norse, as quick passes, quick offloads out to the left wing. But the referee not liking something, so a penalty to the Vikes as they will go quick and they will score. So an onslaught of penalties here to start the game for the Thunderbirds, leading to a 5-0 lead for the Norse. 16 minutes into this game, as UVic will have Matt Bennett kicking to try and put them up 7-0. So the kick unsuccessful there by UVic. So they lead 5-0 as they receive possession back, and a poor pass there by the scrum half. Again, these balls must be a little bit wet, as lots of handling errors to start this game, as one more comes about in the form of a knock-on there by the Vikes, as they lead 5-0, but UBC with a big charge here, trying to get back into this game just like that. So UBC with the penalty, but UVic knocked back 10. So they will come back for the penalty. UBC really coming on strong after that score, as they will look to score here on the goal line. And they do. So just like that, it is 5-5. And UBC will have the chance to lead by 2 points if this kick is converted. So the kick by UBC misses wide. So the score will remain 5-5 here, 20 minutes into this game. As a quick response there by the UBC, means the game is now tied. So UVic will restart under the boot of Matt Bennett, and the ball is taken well by UBC. After that quick response and great goal line offense with a big run, tackle miss there by the Norse, and the kick coming right in our direction and out of play. So the ball will come back to the point of the kick for a UVic lineout. Alex McCallum to throw. And taken well. And a big tackle there by UBC as UVic knocks it on for what seems like being a common theme, as a high tackle there by the Norse. And the referee has signaled penalty advantage to the Thunderbirds. As a quick pass, but looks like it may have gone forward. So the referee will come back for the high tackle penalty advantage. And UBC will most likely kick to touch. Here, as they do. And the dilemma with the balls continue, as that ball will get stuck in a tree. So the things that you never expect to happen often do here at Wallace Field, as one of our balls is now stuck in the tree, but we play on. Thankfully, we have multiple. So UBC lineout, which is thrown deep, very deep, and taken well, but almost knocked on. Wow, that was close. But held in possession, recovered, as tackle made by the Norse. And UBC again with some possession here. And the ball is knocked on. So possession just really difficult to maintain here for both teams early in this game, as we most likely are seeing a ball that's touching the wet field and getting quite slippery, which will only dry up as the day goes on. As a kick blocked by UBC. Looks like a trip there, but nothing called by the referee. With UVic possession, but UBC stolen the ball. Quick tap and go. Most likely not back 10. UBC quickly out to the right wing, but knocked on right on the goal line. Yeah, they will come back for a penalty. UVic not back 10. Their second knockback 10 penalty of the game. UBC clearly here, one of their game plans is looking to go quickly off of those penalties, especially when they're threatening inside the 22 of the Vikes. I should say, once again, the Norse. That's what happens when there's two different names for the two different teams here at UVic. Apparently, I can't get it straight. So we are 25 minutes into this first half of play, as a wonderful throw again by the UBC hooker. His last two have been stellar to the back of the lineout, with penalty advantage being played to UBC once again, as they look to put 5 more points up on the board, and the referee will let them use that advantage, as UBC threatening here on the goal line. UVic standing well so far, but the big bodies of UBC trying to force that ball across the goal line, which they have not done, but they draw another penalty. So UVic with some penalties here, conceding some penalties here deep in their zone, as UBC will look to push this ball across the try line, but they're held up. A fantastic goal line stand by the Norse after conceding 2 penalties will force the drop kick from the end zone. The drop kick struck well, but taken well by UBC, and a big tackle there by UVic number 10, as he was the last man in the line of defense of a big UBC player. So UVic, though, with another penalty conceded. It has been a slew of penalties seemingly to start the game for UBC, and now 25 minutes in for the Norse, as UBC will kick to touch. The ball once again leaving the field of play, but the second ball being kicked on, so time will remain on with 13 minutes to go here in the first half. UBC playing some threatening rugby here in the last 5 minutes of play, but held well by the Vikes, held up in the end zone, and the drop kick from the end zone not going incredibly far and taken well by UBC, which has put them back in a threatening position here, pushing that maul close to UVic territory. Drop kick from the end zone not going. So another penalty to UBC, as big number 3 will try to charge and dice his way into the end zone with another penalty advantage coming to UBC. As they threaten here, but once again, UVic standing solid, but just conceding penalty after penalty. And they will once again have to stand UBC's charge within 5 meters. So the tap and go will come. Big number 3 once again. Held well by the Vikes, the Norse, but on the second effort, UBC will punch it across the line for 5. And it looks like we have an injured UVic player here. So hoping that he is all right, as UBC with the big push across the line with their big boys are most certainly hard to stop. He is moving around, and looks like it's going to be a head knock or something along those lines. But getting up and moving around, no problem. So that is good to see from the Norse player. So UBC now leading 10-5 will kick to try and extend that lead by 7 points. The number 10 misses left once again for the second time today. So the score will remain 10-5 for UBC here, as time will come back on with just about 8 minutes, I believe, remaining in this first half. With the Thunderbirds leading by a score of 10-5, with the kick deep into UBC territory, run out, but tackled well by the Norse, as a little bit of a line break here, but recovered by Marcus Lott. And high tackle by UBC, signaled penalty advantage. So UVic, playing with penalty advantage, will kick the ball, but it is kicked poorly, and they will come back for that penalty advantage. Just dealing with an injury sub there, I think, from the Thunderbirds, as number 4 will come off, and UVic will wait for the sub to come onto the field for the Thunderbirds. As the kick to touch will come here from the Vikes. And it is not going to be out. So, not out, but then kicked directly into touch by UBC. So it will end up with a UVic line out here, right on the 22 line of the Thunderbirds. Alex McCallum throws the ball well, but a little bit of miscommunication there by the Norse, as one player ran forward expecting the ball and didn't get it, as the receiver threw it backwards. So UVic, with another miscommunication on passing there. Their passing has not been incredibly sharp to start this game, but a great run there by, I believe that was the number 14, and either knocked on or lost in possession somehow by the Norse. So UBC will recover this ball, and a speedy UBC player will bust through the tackle of the Norse, but the referee will come back for a penalty to the Thunderbirds, as a big run there and a big line break by UBC, setting the tone for this game most definitely. So UBC with the kick to touch, and it goes out well. So they will have a line out here with 4 minutes remaining in the first half. So UBC. And so far the lineouts today have been pretty clean, with UVic missing one, and as I say that, not taken well and not straight either. So maybe a little bit of a commentator's curse there. But my point that I was going to make is the UBC hooker really throwing the deep balls into the lineout so well up until that point so far throughout this first half. So now it will be the Norse's turn to line out, but once again, as I say, the lineouts have been good. Of course, that one not taken well. And UBC recovers and then immediately draws the penalty. So penalty to UBC here with the number 10 to kick to touch as a bit of a cold wind starts to whip here around Wallace Field. The sun was out and shining for some time for the middle half of this game, but non-existent at the moment, as the lineout will go to UBC, who look to put some more points on the board here at the end of this half, at the close of this half, with 10 unanswered points so far. UVic, so far, scoring the first 5 points of the game. UBC coming back to score the next 10. As that lineout taken well. And a free one coming to UBC with another penalty conceded by the Norse, and a big run there from the number 7 of UBC, breaking tackles and putting 5 more points up on the board for UBC at the close of this first half. So far, UBC with 3 tries, 2 unconverted, the third yet to be attempted. So we will see. And UVic with just the 1, unconverted as well. So the kicking game so far, not the strength of this game, but we'll see what the number 10 can do with this one. As he lines up his kick to make this a 12-point game. And this one is going to drift from right to left, straight down the middle. And the score is now 17-5 as the half will expire. Welcome back here to Wallace Field as we start this second half of play between the UVic Norse and the UBC seconds. UBC with a poor start to the game, conceded quite a few penalties leading to the opening score by the Norse, but a strong finish. So they are now up to start this game, as the referee will signal for time on, and they'll kick the ball away for the Vikes deep, and I mean deep, into UBC territory, and that's immediately knocked. What a fantastic kick there by Matt Bennett. Really just the UBC player backwards so that he could take that catch very well whatsoever. So it will be a UVic scrum just in front of the 5-meter line of UBC. Scrums not going well, and the referee will give the penalty. The Vikes. So it's going to be a penalty to the Vikes. And there after the penalty conceded in the scrum. Well struck by the young the 22 for the Vikes. Thrown and taken well. Passed out and rucked over, with UVic maintaining possession as they look to move down into UBC territory, gaining no territory so far since that lineout on the 22, but making some good moves. And knocked on, though, as UVic will concede an error once again. And knocked on, though, as UVic will. So a line out coming to the Thunderbirds as a second ball on the pitch. So time will be off as the confusion surrounding the balls continues. And the lineout taken well by UBC. Moved out wide to the right-hand side of the pitch as they have numbers here, but knocked on. As time is off for an injured UVic player here. Matt Bennett is down, which is not a good thing, as he is a young star of the UBC program, looking like he's favoring his left ankle. As it's not looking very good for him. That ankle looks very sore. So let's hope that he's all right, but the ankle not looking in good shape at all. Oof. So we will reset, and it will be a scrum to the Thunderbirds here. And I apologize, a scrum to the Vikes after, or the Norse after that knock-on from UBC. A little distracted with that injury, as UVic will take the ball out to the right-hand side of their pitch and look to move into UBC territory. As they do move inside the 22. Passed out well, but ripped out by UBC, and they will gain possession back, but a poor pass there. And the referee will come back for a knock-on from the Vikes. So 6 minutes into this second half, the score remains the same, 17-5, as UVic will look to close the gap here with a big push from the scrum, but penalty to UBC for an early push on the Vikes. As UBC will kick to touch from just around their own 22, but that is kept in very well, very athletic play by the Vikes, by the Norse there. And they will get possession back. Through the hands of Marcus Lott, through the hands of Josh Ketch, and out to the left wing. As a big hit there with the UBC player coming out, and a bit of sloppy play here. Leading to some mixed possession, but UVic with the ball, Alex McCallum with the carry. And UVic will pass it through, but knock on to knock on, as UBC will make a sub here with number 9 coming off for the Thunderbirds. So it will be a knock-on from UBC, scrum to UVic, as they look to have a big push, which they do get, and the ball comes out well. UVic with speed, building into the zone of UBC. UVic player's cleat has come off, as UVic with a little, looks like offside. Yeah, it absolutely is offside. Penalty advantage coming to the Vikes. Offside on UBC. So kick to touch it will be. And a fantastic kick to touch by UVic there. Deep in UBC territory here. The Vikes, the Norse, will have a line out. So that ball missed by the intended target, but taken well by the back of the lineout, as UVic here looks to punch a hole into this lead that UBC has maintained since the end of the first half. And this is the most threatening position they've been in so far. But turned over, but will come back for a penalty to the Vikes. So UBC conceding a penalty. UVic will tap and go. They will try to force and barrel their way across the line, which they do not do. And in fact, they concede a penalty. So it will be a penalty to UBC, and it will be a kick to touch by the Birds. But it will not be out. Poorly kicked by the number 10. He's had a couple today that have not gone his way, as big hit there by the UBC player into Josh Ketch, but he's up and at him, as another penalty will be called, this time against UBC. It's been a game of penalties so far, with both teams most likely conceding at least 10 this game, if not more. That kick almost not out, but off the fingertips and into touch. So UVic will have the line out here, once again, threatening in UBC territory. The line out is taken well, the maul is formed, and UVic with a big push forward here as UBC tries to stop the rumbling train, which is this UVic maul. The maul collapses, but a great push there from the Norse as they get it deep into UBC territory. And they're back to where they were before that penalty, as big number 2 will carry the ball. They will hand it off. the big men on the goal line trying to get this across the line as UBC will tackle high, and UVic will have a penalty here, which they'll most likely tap and go right on the 5-meter line. Big stop needed here by the Thunderbirds. No, they will kick to touch. So UVic here, kick to touch, as UBC will use this time to make a significant amount of subs. I believe that was 3 subs coming on. As time is back on, and the lineout will go to UVic. The lineout taken well. UVic looking out wide and trying to get this ball into the end zone, but penalty here called against the Norse for what UVic is saying is a tackle that was made, but then the player got up, which is an intriguing call to me, but I'm not the ref and I'm also not right there. So at the end of the day, what's called is called. So UBC will line out on the 10 meters into their own half. And that is not straight whatsoever. Thrown right into the hands of the UBC player. So UVic will scrum on the 10-meter line of 10 meters into the half of UBC. So scrumming today has been an issue for UVic. They have conceded 1 scrum penalty, and in general, both teams have not set their scrums well, but this one is taken well as a double tackle by UBC will force UVic to the ground. As once again, 15 minutes into this half, no scoring, which was similar to the start of the first half, with UBC then scoring 17 unanswered to take the lead. And UVic looking to close down this gap, taken well through the phases so far, but the referee seeing something will bring it back for previous penalty advantage. In from the side, and UVic tap and goes quickly as Marcus Lott will, with a great run, bring UVic right to the 22 of UBC. And a double tackle once again, rucked over well. And tackled well by UBC as UVic moves through the phases here of play. Out wide. Offloaded, but into the hands of UBC, and they will get the penalty. UVic concedes a penalty here after some threatening play, as time will come off for an injured player. Someone from UBC down. As Cale Jones will come on for Marcus Lott, or some cramping there. But Cale Jones coming on. That kick from UBC, once again not out. So it has been a struggle here lately for the UBC kicker as that ball kicked up into the air, but recovered by UBC and forced out by the Norse. So that will be a UVic line out. As UVic with possession, the ball squirts loose out the side of the ruck, but recovered by UVic, tackled by UBC, and it's going to be a penalty to the Thunderbirds. And the kick right in our direction. Very poor once again from the UBC kicker. But they will have the line out nonetheless. Five is called, so 5 in the line out for UBC, as they will look to successfully line the ball out, which they do, not cleanly, but they do. And number 10 with a big run, tackled well by UVic and almost forced out, turned over, but UVic pinned deep in their own territory here, but they will get the penalty. So UBC, with some scrambly play after the line out, will concede the penalty. And UVic with a good kick once again, a fraction from not making touch, but they will have a line out. And the line out goes through everyone and straight into the hands of UBC. So possession will be recovered by them as they move down the left wing. Still no scoring 20 minutes or halfway through this first half, but UBC looks to change that here as they threaten 22 meters from the UVic try-zone and closing quickly, but they are forced out. UVic forcing them out, but they will come back for penalty advantage on the left-hand side of the field. And looks like time will be off once again for a injured UBC player or subbed UBC player here. And they will kick to touch after that penalty advantage. So it will be a Sorry for the technical difficulties there, folks. Sometimes cameras don't always want to cooperate. But we're back in business. And we have still the same score. And UBC leading 17-5 here with 15 minutes remaining in the second half of this game with a UVic lineout, I should say scrum, pinned deep in their half that the referee will reset. And no, he will give a penalty to the Norse with a UBC player going down and time coming off. So UVic with the kick to touch as time resumes. And UVic will have a line out here 10 meters into their own half as the referee would like them to maintain some more space in between the players here in the lineout. And the lineout almost stolen, but taken well, and penalty advantage, it looks like, will be coming to the Norse as maybe an unfair contest, but UVic will get the ball and most likely kick to touch here, which they do successfully. So a good kick there by UVic to get some possession here late in the second half in UBC territory as they will line the ball out. Thrown not so well, but recovered anyway. And UVic will move through some phases here to try and get possession, but they concede a penalty. So UBC with the penalty, penalty advantage, I should say. And they will kick to touch from inside their own half. But the ball not out for the third or fourth time today. But a penalty once again. Penalties really dominating the conversation of this game, with both teams taking more penalties than they really should be. As UBC this time will tap and go and kick it across the length of the field, right into the hands of the UVic player, and the referee right away will cause a stoppage of play for that tackle. Or, yes, he will. No card, but the penalty conceded by UBC for that tackle nonetheless. And the referee wanting to have a word with both captains to make sure that foul play like that doesn't happen again. Although it does look like a yellow card may be coming the way of the UBC player. And it is. So yellow card there for that tackle on number 23, Josh Ketch. Lifting him up and slamming him to the ground. So he will sit. UBC will be a man down for practically the remainder of this game. As once again, penalty advantage to the Norse because of that line out infraction. So UVic will look to play through as a line break here by UVic. Great run there by the Norse, but they will come back for penalty advantage here on the halfway line. And we will see what UVic decides to do here. They will kick to touch, and it's a kick 5 meters outside the 22 of UBC. And Will Taras takes it, but advantage to UBC, who recovers the ball. And it will be a UBC possession, a knock-on possibly, as the scrum will be called. And that's what it will be with 9 minutes remaining in this game. A scrum to the Thunderbirds. And played well out to the side. Recovered by UVic, but the referee will come back for a line out, or a scrum, I should say, to the Norse. Once again, still no scoring in this second half with 8 minutes remaining. And the scrum will be given a penalty to UBC. The referee, that is, will give a penalty to UBC. But UVic will win the scrum, but through the hands of Josh Ketch there and into the touchline. With the line out going to UBC. Advantage being played to the Thunderbirds. As UBC will look to move out of their territory, but ball knocked on, and UVic will get the ball back here after some sloppy play by both sides. So the scrum to UVic after the knock-on by UBC here. And the ball will be taken out well. What a wonderful little kick there. And Josh Ketch will fall right on it and score. What a great play by the Vikes there. Creative to burst through the seam of the UBC defense and put the first 5 points of this second half up on the board for both teams. As the kick is up, and it would have been good, but just short of the uprights there. So the kick is up, and the kick is recovered by UVic, trailing here by 7 points with just about 5 minutes to go, as Josh Ketch, with a wonderful run down the left wing, offloads to number 13, and UVic all of a sudden has made this a 2-point game. Just like that, the Norse have come within a conversion of tying this game. No points scored for either team in the first 35 minutes or 33 minutes of this half. And within the span of 3 or 4 minutes, it's now a 2-point game. The kick is up. It is no good. So UVic will need one more try here in the next 3 minutes to or referee saying 3 minutes, 40 seconds. So UVic needing another quick try here to finish out this game with the victory. And they will keep possession. They will not kick, most likely, as this has become a close game all of a sudden in the last 5 minutes. UVic with the ball, and they will kick. They will go for touch and force the UBC to line out as the UBC player who was put in the sin bin 10 minutes ago is now back out on the field. So UBC and UVic even in players now, as this a crucial lineout for both sides. UBC looking to ice the game, UVic looking to win the game. And UBC will win it, and they will burst through with a wonderful play, a wonderful kick, very similar to that UVic used 5 minutes ago, and they will score. That will all but ice the game here for UBC. After a hard-fought ending. Again, no points in the first 33 minutes of this second half. And now 15 points, pending a conversion, making maybe 17 in the last 7 minutes. So UBC with the conversion to make it a game out of reach, and most likely we will hear the final whistle or the signal of last play, as time is out on my screen, but this will be the last play. Referee has signaled. So UVic has to recover this ball, and UBC has knocked it on pretty well, exactly what they did not want to do. And now they need to get the ball back. So the referee will signal for the high tackle. So UVic with one more attempt at this game with this line out on the 22-meter line of UBC. It all comes down to this. UBC needing a goal line stand, or a defensive stand, I should say, from this line out on the 22-meter line. And UVic will take the ball well. They'll move it out to the right, and they'll be tackled well. Needing a try here as number 10 barrels through. UBC on top of the ball, but rucked over well as they move it out to the left. Great play. UVic threatening, and they put it down. They're going to need a conversion, but UVic doing what they needed to do and going down and getting a try on the final play of the game. Fantastic playing here by the UVic team. Not giving up whatsoever, as they look to tie this game on the final kick. The kick is up, and it is short, but what a valiant effort here by the Norse. They trail, they fall by 2 points. But a great game overall. Thank you for listening, and have a fantastic rest of your day.